We used the power of the grand jury, over 300 subpoenas and search warrants looking into this individual's background to bring us to this day.
A 13-year-old cold case finally cracked wide open. New York investigators revealed how they pieced together all the clues to make an arrest in the investigation into the murders of several women believed to have been carried out by a serial killer in Long Island, New York.
On March 14th, 2022, the name Rex Sherman was first mentioned as a suspect in the Gilgo case.
59-year-old Rex Sherman, a Manhattan architect and father of two, is the man investigators say is behind the slayings of at least 3 women. Sherman lived in a quiet suburb not far from the beach highway where the bodies of the so-called Gilgo Four were found. The victims' bodies were wrapped in burlap and were discovered within days of each other. The women, all sex workers. Investigators say Sherman could be connected to as many as 11 murders dating back to 2010 and across 2 Long Island counties.
Rex Sherman is a demon that walks among us, a predator that ruined families. If not for the members of this task force, he would still be on the streets today.
Since 2010, the Gilgo Beach murder cases have garnered intense public interest and made national headlines. The unsolved murders were also the subject of the 2020 Netflix special Lost Girls. So how were the investigators able to break this case open?
A New York State investigator was able to identify him in a database.
In March 2022, detectives linked Sherman to a pickup truck that a witness reported seeing when one of the victims went missing back in 2010. After connecting him to the pickup, investigators linked him to other evidence, including burner phones used to arrange meetings with the victims. And they linked taunting calls that a person claiming to be the killer made to one of the victims' families.
For each of the murders, he got an individual burner phone, and he used that to communicate with the victims. Then shortly after the death of the victims, he then would get rid of the burner phone.
Likely the most damning piece of evidence, back in March, detectives tailing Sherman recovered DNA from pizza crust that he threw out in a Manhattan trash can. His DNA matched samples found on the remains. Sherman was arrested late Thursday near his Midtown Manhattan office. He pleaded not guilty in court on Friday. His attorney says Sherman was in tears upon meeting him and told the attorney he, quote, didn't do it.
This is the beginning of the case. Everybody is presumed innocent in our country. There's a presumption of innocence, and we're looking forward to fighting this case in a court of law.